says it's live.
What's up, everybody? I know the other night during Tech Talk we was running the GoPro on the gimbal and ended up I was doing some spot welding on the floor, and the spot welder kind of like sucked the GoPro because it puts off magnetic field. So I figured tonight I'm working on the car a little bit on Laura Levine for Modern Riding for the SEMA build. So I figured since Erin's here, she's hiding. I figured, well, she did. She insisted that I would do a little bit of videoing while fixing the door. Car's ready for body work. We have already started filing on the body on the back some and on the front, but I've got to lock up the door skin. So we kind of tweaked on it a little bit, used a spoon and bent some of it out. So now that I've got it kind of profiling like I want, I'm going to do a little hammering right here to get this point back a little bit, and I'm going to take the door skin off, or the door off, and tighten the skin up around the edges, because that's going to change some of the effect on the door gap. I've got a few little spots in here that might need some build up or might need some hammering, so I'm going to check all that and take the door off, tighten the skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the door off, tighten the skin. It's actually hidden right here when it opens because of the skin not being tight in that corner that it's dragging across, and you don't want that to happen on the car after it's been painted. So we're gonna do that, and this week we're gonna be doing body work. Gonna start with sanding the hood, fender, and the roof and the deck lid. It's going to be sanded with 80 grit, and we're going to start taking the OE coat off. I'm going to file on the body some and start taking the OE coat off. So just running the camera to see, because when we did during the Tech Talk, when I hit the spot welder drawed the camera and it actually knocked the sound off. Don't know if that caused it or if the camera just messed up.
Yeah.
So
y'all let us know if it's shaky or lagging or anything like that.
So I'm just wondering if I say there's a car and I point there's a car, if my words are off cue. Instead of it saying there's a car right now when I ain't even my mouth shut.
It's like a Japanese video.
Yeah.
There's a car, and then
Did you hear her talking? Okay, so
your dad said, "What's up, son? He loves you."
But anyways, fixing to jump right into it and find my safety glasses. So my dad don't holler at me. I know if I usually post a video in the car and I ain't got my seatbelt on, he goes off on me. I'm gonna grab the camera here. But yeah, we started doing some filing on the front. There was a little knot there, and we started filing the back here. You can see a high spot. So basically Craig was showing me how to file the body and work these lines. So a lot happened here today. We have a new banner, Max Pro window films, awesome product, and they did some on the build, which I can walk in here and show you. Hopefully I don't lose you, but this is the little secret hiding spot. We got the gears in here and some motor work. Craig's working on it. I tore my head up on this crankshaft the other day. He dropped something and I bent down here to pick it up. And when I came back up, I knocked that thing pretty good. But anyways, he did the windows back here. And here they are, all the glass for Laura Levon. It's all done in the Max Pro IR ceramic coating tint, and it is black. It is 5%, so it's pretty dark, which is great. So I'm gonna go back out here and get on that. I just wanted to share that little bit with you guys. There you go. I know some of y'all probably recognize that one. We have the little one up here. We got a couple builds over here. That was one, AMD. Some stuff over here. But anyways, this is Craig's little area here. I'm gonna head back out here and get to work. Aaron's over there doing the Insight damn wave. But here, I'll hand this over to her. I don't know if she wants to unscrew it or leave it on there.
I'll just tote it like that.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna get my chair, but
if I do unscrew it, I'm assuming from the bottom so that I don't make everybody jump.
You just
Yeah, let's do that.
so she's undone now.
I'm free.
But this spot right in here, I'm gonna try and hammer it, but I'll probably end up having to grind it because it's actually the or the fender that is drifting into it. So I'm gonna see about hammering, but I'm probably gonna have to grind it. And like I say, it's gonna get affected when I take this off and hammer it all flat too. So I'm not really gonna do too much. I just wanted to see it. It dips back into the car and then this curves and then kicks back. So I'm probably end up having to cut that and weld it up and move it. So I'm gonna get to taking the door off so I can tighten the skin before I do too much. Don't want to do no bunch of backtracking.
So you're gonna cut the metal and then kind of create your own corner? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes, possibly. Mike and Mary's on here. Oh wow. Missed them last week. Oh, and Aaron commented and said hey and all this and did she say miss y'all? But no, she commented and didn't even tell me y'all were on. Unreal.
You were in the other room at the moment.
Unreal. You could have hollered and said Mike and Mary's here and I would have came running.
Well, they asked how you were doing, so you can answer them.
Oh, I'm doing great. Just stressed this car, but making it. I'm glad to be moving on to something other than welding and building.
And crawling in the trunk.
And crawling in the trunk. Yeah, Lord have mercy. Yeah, the trunk has been a nightmare.
But it's probably going to be the coolest part of the car.
Oh, definitely. I just love the fact that this thing's gonna have wheels just about as big as, well, as far as I know, as big as any Galaxie I have seen yet on the internet. And the trunk will be opened at the show.
And functional.
And functional. And the rear windows will be functional. And it will have a back seat. So that was my main goal when I started this tubbing, was to make sure that the trunk could be open and looked at without fear of people like, well, what the heck's going on?
But you're also not going to cover all of your work with carpet, right? Or have you decided?
Haven't really decided. I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to do a piece of carpet in the center section. I guess y'all can let me know what you think. But I am thinking I don't want to cover my wheelhouses because they look beautiful. I don't want to cover this work. The AccuAir air management system is going to be up in here. I've still got to get it in the trunk because I got to figure out how to hook actuators to it to get the roof, the door open, the trunk open.
But that's mechanics, not metal. Sort of.
I've basically finished these out. I got to do a little more grinding in here and a little grinding in here. But I put them back on, wanted to make sure they were still working. They're back in there, they're working good. But my idea is it's going to get a Scorpion protective coating on the underside of the car and inside.
Is that like Rhino line?
It's a sound deadening, heat protection, and all in one.
Oh.
So it's going to get sprayed, but I don't know if I want to get the trunk sprayed. So y'all can let me know what you think, if I should spray the trunk. To me, I'm thinking if it gets sprayed, then people look in here and they're like, oh, he sprayed that to cover up all his welds and modified parts and stuff. But when it's like this, you see it's bare metal, it's there. You don't see no bunch of weld lines, no bunch of hack job cut up stuff. So I'm kind of thinking I might want to just smooth it, do the undercoating on the bottom and paint this to match the car, and then just put a small piece of carpet right here in this section with a nice trim on it for right here in the middle, and then leave all the rest exposed. But if I do a carpeted the whole thing, I want to at least be able to move the carpet over. But I really think just the little piece right here of carpet would be great. So let me know what y'all think. If you think carpet there, carpet the whole thing, Rhino line or whatever, Scorpion coat, yay or nay, and let me know what you think. How you would do it if it was yours. So back to the door.
Go-Go says keep it simple. Mike and Mary say leave it naked. Ken says show your work on the gas filler area.
Yeah, I put the gas filler neck in it last weekend. And yeah, that was my whole thing with this car, was I wanted the car clean, simple, not really taking away from its natural beauty. I don't want to take nothing away, but I want like subtle changes to where you know this car has been modified and it still keeps some of the originality of it. Like the motor, I'm letting my brother handle the motor area, and on the motor, which there's no motor in it right now, but on the motor, he was talking about this pulley system and all, and doing it red because it's gonna match the wheels, and I'm not big on it. I think black pulley system, aluminum, or bare aluminum, but the motor, the block is all aluminum motor, so I think that might be too much if I did everything in aluminum. So I'm thinking maybe black, but I got the paint, the original paint, which was pretty expensive. I gave the cap to somebody, to Joey, to do the powder coat match. But this is called Gold Ash Metallic. And this is what color Ford had on their high pro builds, their 427s, their 390s, when they were the high performance ones. So I'm thinking about under the hood, my dad's gonna be doing the intakes on the inner headlights. And I want the 4-barrel dual 4 breather, but it's gonna be EFI, and it's gonna have tubes that run down. My dad's talking about hard piping it down and then like a flexible point on it somewhere on the 427. And I don't know what color it's gonna be. I guess it's just gonna be aluminum or whatever. But I want the hinges to be that ash gold color, and I want the bolts, the upper bolts up here along here. I'm not sure if I want them in the center here, but I do know that I want these bolts down the side and the hinges to be that ash gold, the color. So I want it clean, simple, and kind of like it was. And then the reservoir, the water reservoir is for the radiator. It sits up here and it's copper, so, or brass. And I wanna buff that thing and make it shine, pretty much. So let me know what y'all think on that part.
Everybody says black pulley. Everybody.
Yeah, I would say black because the aluminum block, and then the but I don't think red to match the wheels, because the engine bay, I want it clean. Like I talked with Dakota Digital today about the dash, the instrument cluster, and I'm not real sure yet, because I've seen this guy Chris Ford, he has a 64 Galaxie, and I was talking to him one day about the instrument cluster, and he's like, man, if you just put LEDs in it, it comes out great. And he sent me a picture of it, and it looked good. He had the blue LEDs in there with the white, which you can see it behind you here. But I think he had new lenses in it. All this stuff had been repainted, and he had the blue in there, and it just lit up, and it looked so good. So I don't know if I want to do that or Dakota Digital. And I talked with them today, so I'm trying to find out about it. And I also got news today that American Auto Wire is sending me their harness, and it has everything plug and play. It's set up for the EFI, the power windows, the power locks, all kind of stuff. So it's going out today. And I also talked with Linear Blocking Tools, and they're going to send me a kit. Hopefully it'll come in next few days, because I'm ready to get working and put them out there. Great company and great product. Haven't used it, so I will let you know definitely on how well it is, even though I don't think that my advice really counts in this area, because I don't know what I'm doing on body work. But everybody I have talked to have said that they are the best blocking tools, especially for a car that takes up the Galaxie. All right. So
Mike and Mary said, my mom fell, so had her hands full. She's on the mend, but 3 dogs, 2 houses, and a lot of stuff going on right now. So everybody, if you haven't, say a quick prayer for Mike and Mary and Mom, that she keeps on getting better and the puppers don't act out of line, so you don't have to crate the babies.
Yeah, so on the door skinning, when I showed doing the door skinning, I'll roughly go over this again. It all gets hammered over, and then usually where there's a point, I usually try to cut it. but I don't cut all the way through to where it goes on the back side. I cut just enough, so I'm gonna probably try and hit in there a little bit, hit in there to relieve it a little bit, and then I'm gonna get to hammering this thing down. I wanna check. The bottom's pretty tight, but I just gotta get that edge. I gotta get that edge a little better. So I'm gonna hit them. Doing this stuff live is a whole lot better to me, because I feel like I'm actually talking to somebody versus
feeling like you gotta stop and get on your phone to answer a question. Or
well, when I do it and I'm filming, I stop and I'm filming, I got the camera, and then I go talking, and I'm like, okay, well, right here you got to cut this, and then right here you need to cut this, and then I start cutting, and then I'm like, what was I saying?
Yeah.
But I lose track of what I'm talking about and where I'm going, and I might say a couple but with you guys live, I don't have room to make a mistake. If I do, I'm caught, unless I can kill it somehow before it translates to y'all. But anyways, I enjoy doing the live stuff. It makes me feel a whole lot more comfortable. It's actually like I am teaching a class instead of just talking to
nobody.
Yeah,
it feels like you've got an audience.
So I'm gonna get loud. I'm gonna work, y'all. I'm not gonna go all the way through on that one because I'm close to this vent and I don't want to hit it. So I just wanted to nick it a little bit. It'll probably tear when I go to hammering it, so it'll work.
This is the original door?
No, this is a skin. It's original
door shield.
The original door inner, and I did the door skinning on it. So this is the actual door off the car with the matching vent. The other door is not. The other door came from a donor. We have the other door from it, but it was rotted on the bottom.
And the passenger side door doesn't have that plate, the identification plate?
No.
Okay, so this is the important one.
Yeah, so that's why I tried to keep it, and I was glad. And if you do go through them, not that I did, if you do go through them, you can always just weld it.
He says it like that's simple.
You're like, this one's pretty good. But yeah, tomorrow on Tech Talk, we're gonna be back on the Camaro floor. And I've got a few questions this week from Roger, Mr. Fireman. If y'all haven't subscribed to his channel, go check him out. He's building a Camaro, and I was giving him some pointers. He ain't got to listen to me, just the way I've done it and the way I've seen. Don't know how many cars he's built. He's doing great work. I love watching his videos, but I'm going to explain tomorrow how to weld the tail panel, the inner cross member, to the drop-offs to save yourself some heartache in the end. And I'm also going to explain the process of welding a car up. I think I went over it on Tech Talk one night on the steps of how we weld it and why we weld it in that direction. So I'm gonna go over there. I had Aaron write me down a note on those two subjects so I don't forget tomorrow. So y'all remind me tomorrow to take care of Mr. Fireman, because he's taking care of you, and I respect that. So
Trey baby's on there, and he said, "Hey, Dad."
Oh man, he must be at my dad's.
Where you at, Trey?
He should be up here doing this.
He's helping your dad right now.
All right. And I don't know if when I did this door skinning, I know I probably said it but if not, I'm gonna cover it now. When I skinned this door, I didn't hammer all this down tight, and there's a reason. It's because when I put it on the car and it's not tight, I can always tweak it and shift it if the door is turned. So I had the door on there, the door looked good where it was at, and if I needed, I could tweak it and hold it there and then put tacks on it, and it won't move, and then I can take it back off, and then I can tighten it down and put it back on. Now if you go hammering it all down, make it all tight, tack it, put some welds on it, and then you get it on there and it's tweaked, you can't untweak it. You got to take it back off, you got to cut all your welds, and then you got to hope it moves in the skin. Another thing is this area right here is where your hinges mount. So if you got it mounted on the hinges and it's up here, this in here won't move, but it's here, you're here, and you shift the door back trying to close the gap back here, and you're bottomed out and you can't go back no further, you can always take the door off, turn it up on the end, and drop it on a piece of wood, and it's going to shift the skin backwards on it, and that'll help close your gap too. So you want to leave all that stuff moving. If your gap's too tight right here, take the door off, hold it up, and hit it the opposite direction and drive your door back in it this way. So this door, if you can see up in here, I'm sure you can see there's 1/8 of an inch right in there, and can't really see on this end. Actually, you can see a little bit in the corner there, but the skin, the door, the shell is a whole lot smaller than the skin. So in there you can see a gap. So there's a chance, it don't always happen, but there's a chance that you could pop this thing on one end or the other and drive the skin to one end or to the other end to help you with your door gaps. So that's why I didn't hammer this thing down. I've got it up there. It looked good. My gaps were good. Little fine tuning. I'm gonna nail it in place here, drive it down, put it back up there, and then I'm gonna go on to gapping it some more. I kind of feel professional. I feel like Bad Chad.
That made me feel real good listening to you just now.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it just made sense. It was understandable and also like really cool. You never think of a door going on a car that you would be able to shift the skin left or right, up or down, whatever on the shell. You just think, I don't know. I thought it was cool.
It is cool. You know why? Because I'm amazing. I'm just playing. Oh, don't let that go there. Erase that. Cut.
Cut.
That thing on, I still play it now. It's getting there. I like my piece of wood. My piece of wood works good. I've got a flat spot on it for flat areas. I've got a rounded side on it for going up in these spots like this. And I can hammer in it and it won't distort it too bad. And you know, you can use flat. I can use it long ways on the bottom down here. Probably could be a little bit harder wood than this. This is just, I guess, a 2x4. It's kind of soft, but it probably would work a little better if I had like hardwood. But I've skinned a lot of doors with it, so I ain't complaining too much. Like I say, they do make a door skinning tool. I have it in the cabinet over there. But there's so many radiuses and curves in this, you can't use it. I can rent it down through here, and I actually think I did when I skinned this.
I want to say you may have on that side.
But hammer, it gets to your fingers. Now that right there, you can see how high it is. That's the part that was rubbing. That was the part that was rubbing on my door, and you can see how far up it is. So it definitely needs to go down so that when I go to painting this thing, and if it gets any little build up right there, just enough to nick it, or the door shifts when the glass and stuff gets put in it and it gets some weight in it, when this door opens, that thing there, I don't want it to hit the paint job on this thing. I'm probably making all kind of weird faces with
you are. That's working hard concentration faces.
Oh, man. Maybe I should grow all my beard out so you can't see my face.
Like Cousin It beard style? Yeah.
Actually, I need to trim this thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Really, really bad. I'm trying to work it down. It's pretty close down now, so I think we'll be good.
Trey said he's ready to come visit.
He's still at my dad's?
Sure is.
Also, when you fold a skin, you don't want to fold it all the way over in one spot. You want to gradually work it down.
Mike and Mary said how many weeks?
17, or, well, 17 weeks, you might as well say, 'cause 17 weekends. Till it's got to be at the very first show. And we're actually, I got confirmation on it through Eddie and also Modern Riding that I can take the car on a trailer to the Dawsonville Moonshine Festival.
Whee!
So we're gonna be at the Dawsonville Moonshine Festival the weekend before SEMA with this car. I guess it'll be its first show.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I got a lot of work to do. I almost posted online today looking for some help for body work, because that's the big thing, and I ain't got a clue, and I kind of feel stressed that I'm not going to make it with the body work, and I hate for Craig to be in here helping me with body work and doing most of it because he knows what he's doing and I don't. So I feel like he'll be doing a majority of it, and I feel bad that he's in here on a project that I took on trying to help me make this happen. So, I mean, I wish I had the money to pay somebody to do it, and I wish the owner of it had somebody or could afford to do it too, but I told him when I took the car on that I would make it happen, and that's what I'm trying to do.
You're doing a damn fine job.
I guess now that this thing's getting down to the deadline and I'm having to work on it every minute that I can to make this thing happen, y'all are getting a whole lot more shows.
He told me today, guys, I was like, all right, what are we filming? He's like, nothing. I said, oh, no, no, no.
If there's any professional door skinning guys on here, let me know what you think. I don't claim to be a professional at everything.
And Trey, you will be at the Moonshine Festival with us this year, I promise.
I ain't a professional at nothing, but I can do everything. Might not be 100% right, but it's right my way. If it works, it gets the job done. That's all I care about. And I'm sitting here hammering away on this, and I've done hammered it, and it ain't gonna hammer no more because I had to add a good bit, which I haven't released the video yet, but I had to add to the edge of this door all the way up. But you can see I hammered it down before that because I could, because this side of the door was out. Couldn't hammer that in because the fender was in the way. So
Mary says she thinks Craig has fun hanging out with us.
He does.
He enjoys it, but he doesn't want him to feel obligated. Isn't that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't want him to feel like he has to, because he didn't take this project on, and this project really don't benefit him. I mean, it does because we're here, we're at the installation center, I talk about it. We get people in. A car left today that we built, that I started helping a guy build on YouTube when I first started the YouTube channel. He sent me some pictures, asked about doing some stuff on the tail panel. I told him what to do, and then I asked him why he was cutting the quarter panels in like he was like doing a skin, and he said because he don't really know how to do a quarter. And I was like, look, if you come down here to the shop, I said, I don't know how far you are, and he told me it's like 5 hours, 6 hours. I said, if you come down to the shop, I will show you personally how to take a skin, how to take a quarter panel off, and how to put one on, and I'll give you 2 quarter panels to put on your car to make it right instead of doing it the wrong way. Not saying it's the wrong way, that's how they did it for years, but to me, it's a whole lot easier just to put a whole skin than it is, or a whole quarter than it is to put a skin. So
and the final product is a little more clean and
clean.
Will last
you ain't got
longer,
no Bondo.
less Bondo.
So he took them, he went back home, they started on it a little bit, and then he was like, you know what, I can't do this, I'm just gonna carry it to Juby. And he brought it down here, we knocked it out in like a couple weeks. I don't think the thing was here a month. Knocked it out, and it left today. He was great. I mean, awesome.
Very happy.
His company actually is the company that did the window tinting. It's Victory Glass Tinting. So go on Facebook and hit them up, give them a like, and tell them that Juby said thank you for helping out with the Galaxie
build. Yeah.
So great guy. I think North Carolina, if you're in that area and you need window tinting, dude's crazy. I asked him about how much it would cost to do what he did today, to come to a shop and tint the windows, how much this was, because trying to keep a tab on how much this car is, and he said $400. And he was talking about the film is like one of the most expensive films out there, and he said
a lot of glass.
He said $400, travel, material, and doing it. And I am like, dude, you got to up your prices.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking an easy $1,500.
I was thinking $1,000.
But he said, no, it's not really that. It's because this car, all the glass is brand new. He didn't have to scrape nothing, clean it real good. The environment was clean, and
it wasn't in this door.
And it also wasn't in the car. So he could lay it out, he could work with it. I mean, he knocked it out, a real professional.
Yeah.
I actually talked about him in one of the tech talk one night. He gave me the knife, the Camaro knife that's made out of the leaf spring from, I don't know if it's the car that I built or his actual car.
I meant to ask him today to just have that as part of the story, because I don't remember.
He gave me that and some shirts. I haven't worn his shirts. I need to. I'll probably do some in his shirts because I need to. I just didn't want to wear them because I got to figure out which one I want, because I want my dad to make me, Dad, you, a shadow box for the knife. I told him that's why I don't wear the knife. I love the knife. I don't want to mess it up. I want to preserve it, so I want to lock it in a box, and I want it in my office. But anyways, I got this hammered, so now I'm going to throw it back on the car and see how bad my gaps changed.
Hey, Day's Life, welcome to the party. And Trey, you can go ahead and tell your sister that she needs to ask off that weekend as well, because she needs to go to the Moonshine Festival with us all. I know Ken and Pat are going.
He's got to haul it. I ain't got a car, I ain't got a truck.
You ain't got a truck? So he's gonna have to haul it to SEMA and the Moonshine Festival?
Oh yeah, I'm electing him for all kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, your name is up there, Ken. Powered by imagination. I'd help you, but I'm holding this camera.
I'm good, Devin.
I gotta make a sandwich.
No.
Mary said that Devin can make Craig sandwiches while he's here.
Oh Lord. I'm used to doing this by myself anyways, because this is how we do. We don't go get somebody to come help us put a door on. So this is not really nothing other than what I normally do. And this door don't weigh that much. Got it rested here on my knee.
You would think that thing would weigh 400 pounds, old Galaxie big old door.
Oh, it does when you put the glass in.
I bet. All the mechanics in it.
I missed my washer done busted.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm just gonna kind of lock it in here a little bit.
Moonshine Festival's in Dawsonville, correct?
Yeah.
How many of y'all are close enough that you could potentially make it to the Dawsonville Moonshine Festival end of October?
Doors got to go back at the top and the bottom. I just tightened one screw on bottom and top until I get it closed.
Look at the camera and say something. They're trying to test to see if the timing's off.
Is the timing good?
There you go.
Ah.
Y'all let us know.
Oh yeah. So, pretty good at the top.
Oh, that looks a lot better.
And I'm away at the bottom, against it at the bottom, so I want to
come out
at the bottom, and I might go in at the top. But I'm gonna try just the bottom first, so. Still a little tight. Come back a little more. The top looks all right. I think as the bottom comes back, and I'm pretty profiling here. Actually, from what I can tell, is my door's profiling here, and it's saying that my front by this gap if you look at it, it's open up here and it's tight down here. So that's saying that my door needs to go back. But if you come back here to my quarter panel, my body, this line is meeting, this body line's meeting, this body line's meeting, and I'm good on my gap on the bottom. So that's telling me that my whole front of the door needs to drop down. So when the top of the door, the front drops down, it'll close the gap at the bottom at the rocker. It will open up this gap, and then it'll get me profiling right. So I gotta unloosen both of my screws and go back to square one. And I think I went down too much. So we're gonna try right.
The timing's good. That was your dad trying to be funny.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't catch the joke, I don't guess.
So my gap's tighter. My body line looks good. So now I'm gonna shift it up, shift it back, and you can tell right here at the top that my back of my door needs to come up. So if I bring the bottom out, that will bring my top up. Top can go up a little more, and my gap can go up a little more.
That's just magic. I'm so mind blown about this.
About what?
Just little tweaks, the little tweaks you're doing that are making these huge changes to make these gaps spot on.
So, door gap's good at the bottom. Looks decent.
Look at that. That was touching a second ago.
Looks good all the way up. Need to do a little trimming right there. My door's profiling. It's good here. And then I'm a little high. But whenever, I'm gonna get it right for body work, but whenever I go to put this door on, it's gonna have to be a little high because of the weight in it. It's gonna bring it down and it'll settle right into place.
That I understand.
So, check my gap, my door gap on the bottom looks good. This.
Oh, he was talking about being sarcastic about all you're volunteering him for because the insurance on the Duramax won't cover a $500,000 car.
It's a good thing.
Well, hopefully Eddie's got good insurance.
Moving it forward, trying to tighten my gap up so that my back gap.
Yes, Mickey, make it a long trip. You can hit the Moonshine Festival, the Oktoberfest in Helen with us. Oh yes, good idea.
So it looks good. It's a lot of back and forth.
Little tweaks, little baby tweaks.
So how's their car coming? Was it Mickey?
Yeah, Miss Deaton. I don't know if you heard him, but Juby asked how your car was going.
Y'all driving it yet?
You can drive it down, yay.
I made Dennis and Chase today, when their car left, I made them a bet. I was like, I got 17 weekends to finish this. I'm sure you got more time because you could probably do it any other day besides the weekend. I said, but you got 17 weekends. This is a build-off. Ford versus Chevy.
Mickey said that Brian watches your videos to watch the cars, and she watches it to hear me talk. My commentary.
Don't let it she watches it to watch me.
You are cute.
They all want me to let my hair down.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I'm back to, I moved them both. And I'm good on the front. I'm gonna have to spoon that out a little bit because it's not profiling correct.
What does spoon out mean?
With the little spoon.
Well, show me.
No, he put it up.
Oh man,
But anyway,
that's what he was talking about when he
But
left
anyways,
today?
you stick it in here and you rack it a little bit.
Oh.
So we had to spoon this up. The door here, instead of trying to split it. So basically this door it's pretty good. Now all I gotta do is finish out my gaps, welding and cutting.
We're at 30%. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna cut out or not.
We've been going for 51 minutes with no issues, guys. Isn't that awesome?
So, yeah, I need to work it forward a little bit because my gap in the back is pretty...
Smaller than the front?
It's pretty tight. And like I say, this car being black is gonna help with the gaps. They ain't gonna have to be perfect.
The gaps will kind of camouflage themselves. But what's the downfall of black? What has to be uber perfect?
The car has to be perfect. The body has to be perfect for it to be a black car, but the gaps, not so much. I do know a little bit about paint. Looking good. I think it's a back and forth game here. I can probably...
And you'll have to fine tune it more once you get the glass in, you said?
Oh, yeah.
Up.
How much that moved it. And that wasn't but a little tweak. Yeah. That's because I need to tack it. Once I get it back in there, I'll tack all this around it to lock it in place. But you can see how it moved when I racked it. So and it hooks in the front and it pushes down here, and you can rack the door like this, back and forth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mickey says that Brian has actually worked on the Camaro some, but now he's waiting on her to okay ordering a new oil pan.
Another thing, when I push down on it, I only got one screw holding it. So that has a lot to do with it moving tremendously. An oil pan.
Why are you making him wait? What did he do? I don't have that power in our house, do I, Juby?
No, I don't guess.
When you want it, you get it.
When you get it close, you want to lock everything down tight. Don't leave it just riding on one, because when you lock it down, it changes it some. I'm pretty close. So I'm gonna lock it because this is pretty much good. Like I say, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tack it, make sure it don't move none, and I'll end up cutting that back a little bit there and welding it, and then I'm gonna work these spots right here back on this door. And I'll do the same thing on the other side, but probably not gonna do it tonight.
Not on the video.
Cause it's 7:30. And the battery's probably gonna die pretty soon.
We're at 25.
So I don't know how long we've been running.
55.
Yeah, so we're close to an hour. Everybody's giving me heck about my videos going longer than an hour. But at least I'm getting them out there now. It's helping the channel a lot, getting them out. And I feel good about it. So I don't know what Aaron wants to do.
So we can call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Tech Talk Tuesday, so that Juby can tell you why we build a car starting at the beginning and going to the end.
Yeah.
Front to back.
It really won't be about building it from beginning to end. It'll be about why the process of welding the car up and why we start at a certain area. we basically start with the front of the car. Well, we build the whole car, and then we start with the front when we start welding. And I'll save it for tomorrow night, and I'll explain. So if you're interested in knowing the way, I ain't gonna say proper way, to me it is, and when you hear me explain it, you'll understand exactly why. If you got any sense about you, you'll understand why it's done that way, and that's the way I do it.
That's the way we make our builders do it. That's the way Craig wants it done. So
it's pretty self-explanatory when I explain it the way that I do. That's why Craig said that I would make a good shop foreman, because I have to teach the guys how to build, and I have to help them through their builds, and I have to check them off. He says I have a way of explaining things to where people understand what's going on. So that's how I ended up where I'm at. I mean, I've been here almost 3 years, and I run the shop now. So it's been a long journey.
Brian Deaton wanted to know if you're going to eliminate any of the trim.
Nope, all the trim will be on it. I kind of thought about it today. A lot of Galaxies, you see a lot of the builds, they delete all the trim on them, and they powder coat or paint the bumpers, what else, the grill. They do away with the side mold, they do away with all the trim on the windows, all of it. And to me, that tells me that they didn't spend, some of them look good, some of them look all right, don't get me wrong, but they didn't want to spend the money on having that stuff done. So it kind of tells me that it was kind of a cheaper, a budget build. They cut corners. So if they cut corners on that, where else did they cut corners? Is there a ton of Bondo? Is there what? But then again, maybe there's some cars that I love slick, smooth. This car won't be, but I've kind of see where they're coming from, because this car, you can't go out and buy the trim for it. You can't go out and buy all the pieces for this car. That I can name the parts that they sell for this car. They sell the back window trim, they sell the belt line trim, they sell the spear on the end, they sell the fender
what is that called?
Piece. I can't think of what it's called. They sell it, and that's basically it. The rest of it is stainless and aluminum. So with stainless and aluminum, they sell the bumpers. That's another chrome part that they sell. But the stainless and the aluminum can be buffed, can be dollied out, all the dents and stuff and the imperfections. It can be sanded, and it can be rebuffed. This car, I had all of it sanded, buffed, done, the grill, everything. It cost $2,060 to have it all done, and it wasn't completely everything, because this car had a kick panel down here that's chrome. It's stainless. I could have had it done, but I didn't want it on this car. And this car had a rare trim option that you don't see on a lot of Galaxies. If you Google it, I guarantee you probably go through 100 Galaxie pictures and only see one with this trim option. But it's a piece of trim that lays on here all the way down, and it was a dealership option. This car had it from the dealership, but there is, I think, 2 pieces missing, and it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack to get that piece of trim. So just opted out of it. It can be added later, because that's what they did at the dealership. Car was there, guy comes, got his family in 1964, 65, said, I want this car, and they're like, well, we got this trim option. He's like, yeah, I want it. They pull it in the back, they drill it in, and they slap it on there, and it rides out for, I think, $13 and something. some change
Yeah,
was how much the trim option cost. So you don't really see it, but I wanted to keep this car clean and simple. It's going to have the side trim here, none on the bottom. It's going to have all the trim around the windows, and this thing's got the same amount of trim that goes around the outside of the window, goes around the inside. Same up front, same in the back. It's loaded with it. It's going to have all that, but today I was thinking about it when I seen the Galaxie. It's blue. It's got some like gunmetal gray bumpers. It's smoothed out. It looked good. It was actually an advertisement. They were showing the Ride Tech air ride system on it. And the windows, all the trim around the windows there's stainless around it, but some of it is pot metal and it's chromed. I priced having like 7-8 pieces chromed, and they told me $6,000. So I was like, oh no, that don't fit in the budget for this guy's build. We can't do it. I'm trying to find the door handles because they are pot metal. You can't polish them. Got to find them. The vent window piece, luckily, I think it's going to be good. This was actually the vent window, and it's pretty clean. You can see a little bit of pitting in it. It's not terrible. I think I'll be able to clean that off or buff it out a little bit, and it might come back. This is stainless. It can be polished, but it's pretty good. The inside looks great.
To be from 1964, it looks pretty dang good.
But like I say, that's
to work
bad.
the magic on it.
This part is exposed on the outside of the car, so it's got to look good. It can't go in there in the SEMA with this thing looking like that. But they don't make it. And this car had a reverberator in it.
Anybody know how to rebuild that guy? Please?
Now, this is when I was like, I wish I would have powder coated all the trim because of this piece, because I don't know what I'm going to do. But this is the back window, and this is the outside. This piece up here, stainless, it can be polished, but that piece right there is pretty horrible.
Yeah, you see that, guys?
It's horrible, and I don't know what I'm going to do, because that, I mean, it really needs re-chroming, but the guy that it belongs to can't afford to have it done, and so I don't know what's going to happen.
But Juby's going to find some way to work magic so that this girl, like your dad says, she's got to have her jewelry.
Yeah. That glass is tinted nicely. I love that tint. That's frosting.
That patina tint.
Yeah, we're gonna put Santa Claus and some reindeer.
Yeah, so it'll look like the outside of a Dairy Queen.
But I'm gonna go, I guess tonight, and research and see if I can find some. And I'm gonna go to my private stash junkyard and see if I can see if there's one that's any better.
Secrets.
Secrets.
We're down to 10% and we're 3 minutes over an hour.
Yeah, so anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Love you. If you need anything, message me. Let me know your thoughts on the trunk, carpet. Let me know your thoughts on the hood or under the hood, and anything else. If you see something that might help me, I'm always into learning from you guys. This is a two-way street here. So I'm not the best at anything, but I do enjoy helping y'all and showing y'all my way of doing it.
And he wants all your comments, all your suggestions, all your questions, anything you can just think of about the Galaxie, Camaros, your own personal build. And we're still working on trying to find a way to get your photos up as like a commercial. We're going to work on that at some point.
Yeah.
We want to showcase all our viewers. We want to showcase y'all's builds.
Aaron hid behind the camera all night long.
Well.
But anyways, it's time to go home and watch some Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan!
And I guess we're going to start the Clone Wars. I haven't never watched it, but I'm a Star Wars fan. and I want to get the whole story.
I'm
But
ready.
anyways, see y'all guys tomorrow at 7. Love you, and we're out.
Now tell me how to stop it.
She got to figure out how to stop it.
You gonna make me do it by myself?
Hit here, exit.